Can I ask you a question? Have you ever had a really stressful day and suddenly you're standing in the kitchen looking for something to eat? You're not necessarily hungry, you just need something. Maybe it's chips, maybe it's something sweet, maybe it's a glass of wine, maybe you're eating the leftovers off your kids' plates, or maybe you're telling yourself, I deserve this. It's been a day. If that sounds familiar, you might not have a food problem, you might have a stress problem. And trust me, we've all been there. And so today I'm going to give you 5 signs that what you're calling emotional eating may actually be stress eating. And I guess they could be interchangeable, but keep watching because at the end of the video, I want you to understand by the end of this video, sorry, I want you to understand what's actually happening and then what you can do about it. And before we get started, welcome or welcome back. If you've been rocking with me, it's your girl, Chelsea C. If you're a woman, your fitness and nutrition coach. I almost forgot to say that. And you know what? I'm always doing the most, so you don't have to. Um, just quick transparency. I'm working on, my name is Chelsea, but my clients and my ex teammates that I play basketball, they call me Cooper, right? So Coach Cooper. So you may start seeing some videos that say Coach Cooper, Chelsea C. Either way, that's me, right? So just keep rocking with me. Anywho, if you are a woman over 40 who's ready to build a stronger body, reclaim your energy, and simply live a healthier life in this chapter, you're in the right place. Okay, so we're not about chasing quick fixes and beating ourselves up because we ate something we weren't supposed to. We're learning how our body works so you can actually work. Okay, so we're learning about our body, okay? And if you've been following along for any length, any videos, you already know we've talked about stress. But I will continue to talk about it because it is a very big issue. It's something that we need to approach. Sometimes you got to hear things in a different way, right? Several different times. And then you're like, oh, okay, I get it this way. But when she was talking about that, it just flew over my head. So I'm trying to help you out, okay? So stress doesn't just affect your mood. It can and does affect your sleep, your energy, your appetite, your cravings, and yes, the way you eat. So let's talk about the 5. I'm on 5s this week. I'm not sure why, but I like that number. 5 signs you might be stress eating, and then I'm gonna help you out at the end. Okay? So have no fear. Sign 1: you're not really hungry. We've all been there, right? This first sign is pretty simple. You're eating when you're not physically hungry. You had dinner, and you're technically full, but a couple hours later, you're in the kitchen, opening up cabinets, seeing what's in the cupboard and in the refrigerator, right? And you're thinking, what can I eat? Now, I'm not saying every time you eat when you're not physically hungry, that means you're stress eating, okay? Sometimes you just want a snack. I'm a snacker, okay? So I get it. And that's normal. But if you notice that stress, frustration, boredom, or exhaustion consistently triggers the urge to eat, pay attention to that pattern, okay? Because sometimes you're not looking for food, you're looking for relief. And in that moment, that food is that relief, but we want to do something a little different. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Sign number 2, you crave very specific foods. So here's another one. When you're stressed, do you suddenly want something very specific? Not broccoli, not an apple, not grilled chicken, right? You want like chips, something greasy, right? The cookies, the ice cream, fries, maybe the pizza, whatever your I don't care today food happens to be. And again, I'm not demonizing these foods. I like all those. I actually have a cookie right here. I'm going to eat later. Maybe I'll just eat half of it. Who knows? Okay, so I'm not demonizing. You can have them. The question is, what's happening right before you reach for them? Because if the pattern is, I'm stressed, I'm craving, I'm eating temporary relief, that's something worth paying attention to. Okay. We got to just stop and think about things. Sorry, my. Okay. So number three, sign three, you eat more at night, right? This one comes up all the time with the women that I coach. So you did pretty well all day. Breakfast was good. You ate some lunch, sensible lunch. You drank water. Maybe you had a snack. You were busy. Then nighttime comes, and suddenly everything falls apart. You're tired. You're finally sitting down. The day is over, and now you're eating while watching TV. Or you might be scrolling on your phone or on your laptop. You're thinking, how did I just eat all of this? And here's what's important. So you ate well, right? Then you come home and then you just maybe ate dinner, right? But then you're still reaching for some more chips, popcorn, snacks, right? And so by the end of the evening, you're looking and you have a bunch of stuff that you just nibbled on throughout the last 3 or 4 hours, right? And so then you may ask, how did I just eat all of this? And here's the important thing. It may not be that you suddenly lost your discipline at 9 p.m. You may have spent the entire day holding everything together. And by nighttime, you're exhausted. Right? I mean, we all get there. That's why I want you to stop asking, why can't I control myself? And start asking, what happened during the day that brought me to this point? Oh, and you might have lots of answers to that. I've worked in many places and things pop off. So I get it, right? But that's a better question to ask, like, how did I get here? Oh, that happened and I was a little stressed or, whatever. But excuse me, take some time to think about it, right? Sign four, food becomes your reward. I've been guilty of this, right? I'll go get me some food after, have my favorite thing, and nothing's necessarily wrong with that, okay? So this one is a little sneaky. See, you finish a long day and think, I deserve something. That too. You finish a difficult project, I'm going to treat myself. The kids finally go to bed. Now I can have wine and snacks, have like a little charcuterie board, right? And listen, you do deserve good things, for sure. And food is not bad. Enjoying food is not bad. I'm actually a foodie. I like good quality food. I do. But if food has become your primary reward, comfort, or way to decompress, we've got a pattern worth looking at. Because if your brain learns stress equals food, then eventually food becomes the fastest way you know how to feel better. And that's where we need to create some other options. Okay, or number five, here's a sign number five, last but certainly not least, you feel guilty afterward. This is probably the biggest one. Because, like, after I eat this cookie, I am not going to feel guilty. Okay, just FYI. So you eat, you feel better for a little while, then guilt sets in. Why did I eat that? I have no discipline. I'm starting over next week. Or maybe I'm not starting over next week. I'm done, right? I blew it. And now you're stressed about the fact that you stressed it, right? Do you see how it's kind of a cycle? And we just created that stress cycle. Stress, eat, guilt. So now if I'm feeling guilty, now I'm feeling stressed. Now I got to eat to feel less stress. So it's vicious. Stress, eat, guilt, more stress, eat again. And that is why I don't want you walking away from this video thinking, I need more willpower. I want you to understand the pattern because you can't change a pattern you haven't identified. So, the bigger picture, and this is why I talk so much about stress, okay? Especially when you're a busy professional woman, over 40, lots of things are changing, hormones, life, lots of things, inside and out, right? I just watched Inside and Out too. Great movie. It's a cartoon. Um, Check it out. There was two movies, Inside Out 1, Inside Out 2. Anyway, I digress. Because weight loss isn't just about knowing which foods are healthy, okay? You probably already know that. So this is why I talk about stress. I'm going back, okay? Because it's not just about it's not just about, sorry, knowing what foods are healthy. You probably know those things, right? The real question is, can you actually follow your plan when you're tired, stressed, overwhelmed, overwhelmed, and don't feel like cooking? Because that's real life. If you have a long day at work, you have a million things on your mind, you get home, you're exhausted. And the last thing you want to do is figure out what you're going to cook for dinner. So if your weight loss plan only works when you're motivated, well rested, and have plenty of time, that's not really a plan for your life. You need a plan that still works when you're tired, when you're stressed, when you're busy, and when you absolutely do not feel like cooking. Okay, that's the kind of healthy living I teach, not making life more complicated, but making choices actually easier. And just a side note, as we're talking about stress, and even though you could meal plan and you might actually eat that, right? You're like, Joe, I do that, I eat that, but now I'm craving all these things after, right? The chips, the can. I'm relaxed now, right? I want all these things that I know is not going to help, and I think that's kind of where the stress comes up, right? And we need to have some tactics for that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make it simple. Don't start with restriction. Just start with awareness. For the next week, when you feel the urge to eat, pause for 30 seconds and ask yourself, am I physically hungry or am I looking for relief? And if you're not sure, that's okay. Then ask what happened in the last hour or the last couple hours or the day, right? Did you have a stressful meeting? Did someone upset you? Are you exhausted? Did you skip lunch? You've been running around all day. Are you finally sitting down after taking care of everybody else? I made a video the other day about I had an encounter with a lady in the sauna, and you'll have to watch that video. Very interesting. But I, I did I stress you? I'm not sure if I stressed. She kind of stressed me out, and I don't let people stress me out. But I might have stressed maybe a little bit yesterday, and that's why, right? Oh, that's why, because I had these high emotions came up. I had to take care of some things, and now I'm soothing myself. But mine was not anything crazy. I think I had a bunch of something that wasn't that unhealthy, but still, regardless, right? Something happened, and then I wanted to eat. Okay, so you don't need more discipline necessarily. You might need a little discipline and accountability, right? But sometimes the answer might need be, girl, you need a break. And that break doesn't necessarily have to involve food. Maybe it's a walk. Maybe it's a shower. Maybe it's getting outside. Maybe it's calling somebody. Maybe it's going to bed. Maybe it's simply sitting down for 10 minutes without needing something from anyone needing something. I actually just had a conversation with a friend, and we're talking about she has some inflammation issues and things. And the doctor like take these pills and stuff. And I'm like, well, you also need to make sure your nervous system is calm so you can help your inflammation. She's like, everybody's talking about nervous system, right? And so we were talking about this exact thing. I said, because I was explaining to her, because she has a high stress job, she needs to do things that calms her nervous system. And if you want to get real scientific, it's called the vagus nerve, right? And it's fight, flight, and fight. If you are always in flight and fight, like there's a bear coming after you, you're never going to be able to relax. You're always going to be tense. That's where the cortisol comes in. That's where the stress eating comes in. So what I'm telling you, uh, like maybe you need a walk, a shower, do something that makes you feel relaxed, right? I say a massage for me is non-negotiable. I would like to do it more often, but I do it when I can get a massage because that just relaxes me. That takes me to another place, right? Also, you can do free things, right? I go sometimes, and there's the other day I stumbled on some kids playing baseball, and I just sat there and smelled the concession stand, and I just was reminiscing when I was younger. We used to always go to the baseball field and watch the boys play baseball. So That was just relaxing to my nervous system, and it was free. It didn't cost anything, right? Maybe it's calling someone. Maybe it's going to bed earlier. Maybe it's taking a bath. Maybe it's reading a book. Maybe it's whatever, right? Something that's actually going to calm your system down. Because sometimes we'll watch TV, or my good friends. I don't know why so much of my friends watch these either murder mysteries, no judgment, murder mysteries on TV, or like podcasts, right? So even though you may feel like, oh, I gotta listen to my murder mystery tonight, that may or may not be calming your nervous system down. Okay, excuse me, because the nervous system is connected to stress, right? And in my friend's case, she has inflammation. See, the body is connected. Everything is connected. We want to act like, oh, this part or my stomach or my hormones, it affects everything. Okay. So this week, I don't want you to earn food. I don't need you to punish yourself because you ate something. And you don't need to be perfect. The goal isn't to never stress eat again. The goal is to get good enough at recognizing the pattern that you have chosen, right? And since I gave you some ideas, instead of reaching for that donut, let me go ahead and, you know, do this deep breathing, or let me go take a walk outside. And then if I still want to come back and eat, cool, right? But you want to recognize that, well, I'm stressed and that's what's making me eat, right? Kind of find the reason why, and then attack that part. Like, oh, I need to say no. Oh, I need to set boundaries. I need to do better with this. Okay. So once you've done that, you created a pause between the feeling and the behavior. And that's where change happens. So your challenge this week is, don't change your diet. Don't eliminate carbs. Don't throw away the cookies. Don't start the cleanse yet. Okay, for 1 week, just pay attention. Every time you reach for food outside of a meal, ask yourself, what am I actually hungry for? And sometimes the answer will be food, so great, eat it. And sometimes the answer will be, I'm tired. I'm just overwhelmed. I need a break. I need comfort. And that's information. And then just a little side thing, what I'll do sometimes, I'll chew some gum, right? Because I just want to chew something, but I'm not necessarily eating chips, right? We got to have healthier snacks in the house. So if I do right now want to eat something, I'll have to grill some green beans, which I love. I know it's weird, right? Or sometimes I'll have some popcorn, some organic popcorn, not too much, because I can eat that a lot too, right? But having healthy things, I do a lot of apples and fruit right now, summertime, right? Watermelon, all those things, they're healthy for you, they are sweet, they're good. So find some alternatives. And then I always say, what's in the house is going to get eaten, right? So if you have Doritos, if you have ice cream, if you have all those, your go to foods in the house, you're more likely to eat them as opposed to if they're outside the house and you actually got to go get them, not Uber Eats. Like if you want that ice cream, go get in the car and um, go get it, right? So set your household up to be conducive as well. All right. If you recognize yourself in any one of the five signs, you don't remember, stop, rewind it. Okay. You're not broken. You're fine. You're definitely not lacking willpower. You simply have a pattern that you've been using to cope with stress, and it's been working maybe for a while, but maybe it's not working. And see, once you understand the pattern, you can change it. So tell me in the comments which of these five signs sounded the most like you, or if you have any other things you'd like to say, go ahead and be that. And if you're a busy woman over 40 trying to lose weight without making your life more complicated, please subscribe. If you have friends and family that need help, this is what I'm here for. Okay? So I'm here to keep you breaking down the things that make healthy living harder and showing you how to make it. Right? Stop blaming your body and start understanding. Take care of yourself. This is Chelsea C., your fitness and nutrition coach. See you in the next video.